Okay, make this one real quick. Destroying of the ego. It should be understood by all that the urge, get it right. It should be understood by all that the urge to self-annihilation that is common to some beginners in occultism is a manifestation of the unconscious urge towards destruction of the ego and not of the entire organism itself, not the physical, like killing yourself off pretty much, but just the self as knowing as what it is, as you grew up as pretty much, and becoming uh, a new deity or a new self. Okay, what is perceived to be the urge to annihilate the self is the first stage of the shamanistic quest, in which the self is confused with the ego, which is a tool of the self. When this confusion takes place, there is certainly the propensity towards various types of neurosis, and these were managed in shamanistic societies by those who had already broken down and returned cured to help those others who would find themselves in similar circumstances. It is not the intention of this author to criticize what seems to be an Asian taste for ritual suicide, but merely to inform the reader that even in those societies, other means towards the same ends were discovered and employed to great success as they are routinely in the West. So you bring on your star like you see the stars in the sky, right? Okay, stick with me, okay? Stick with me. In Samaria, the star symbol was always a sign of divinity. On the cuneiform tablets and cylinder seals, the placement of a star next to an image of a person meant that person was a god or goddess. So if you killing yourself, the self that you was born as, to become an even stronger self or a higher self, you're actually just like you say. You see the stars in the sky up high. There's it's just a reflection of self. Okay, star equals God is the earliest recorded theological equation. In Egypt, the star symbol, which enclosed by a circle like a modern pentagram symbols, indicates the underworld. A freestanding star is simply a star in the heavens. The inverted pentagram as a sign of the underworld or of satanic entities was unknown to the ancient Egyptians. Yet it is worthwhile noting that their symbol for the underworld was still a star, a celestial body, even though a mysteriously enclosed it is mysteriously enclosed by a circle. Okay? Now stick with me. The source of the five-pointed star was Sumeria, where it seems to have begun its life as a symbol for the plow. Okay, the plow. Oh yeah. Also reading out of this book again, The Gates of the Necronomicon by Simon. You can probably get it for like $8. Any of these book places. You can go to Barnes and Nobles or any of these places and get one. Not sponsored by none of these people. So I'm just saying that's a quick way they can order it for you and have it sent there. You can pick it up too also. All right. It was called Ar or Ara, and early commenters on Sumerianology seem to feel that this was the signature of the linguistic group that later came to be called Aryan, i.e., people of the plow. We're going to get somewhere with this. The plow implies knowledge of agriculture, which is one of the arts communicated to the Sumerians by their mysterious benefactor, Oannes. That the plow symbol metamorphosized into a star symbol may be a kind of visual punning in which the initiated understood that their civilization owed its existence to the stars. In Egypt, the pharaoh was said to become one of the stars after death, and from there to plow the earth, to drop seeds, right? Remember we said over here when we was reading this part. We find it. Right here. What is perceived to be the urge to annihilate the self is the first stage of the shamanistic quest in which the self is confused with the ego, which is a tool of the self. When this confusion takes place, there is certainly the propensity towards various types of neurosis, and these were managed by the shamanistic societies by those who had already broken down like being the cool. Remember, Lupe Fiasco had an album called The Cool. Okay, everybody wants to be cool, but you gotta remember you can be your own self and have your own cool. Because being cool is like being part of something. You want people to like what you're doing, but if you like what you're doing, as long as you love what you're doing, then everything shouldn't matter. If people end up liking what you're doing, that's just liking who you really are, and not what you put up, which is the ego. The ego is not. It's something you would put up with, and it's not really who you truly are. You have to dig deep into yourself to become that true star who you are, and return cured. Had broken down and returned cured to help those others who would find themselves in a similar circumstance. So right here, now we go back to this section again. The plow implies knowledge of agriculture, which is one of the arts communicated to the Sumerians by their mysterious benefactor, Oannes. That the plow symbol metamorphosized into a star symbol may be a kind of visual punning in which the initiated understood that their civilization owed its existence to the stars. In Egypt, the pharaoh was said to become one of the stars after death, and from there to plow the earth, pretty much to plant new seeds or set new seeds. It's like you can it's pretty much saying from reading both of those sections, it's pretty much one part, but it was saying agriculture is like it's only agriculture when you reaping the crop, so something is growing. So if you're dropping a seed of getting rid of the ego and everybody being them true self, becoming a real star. Star equals God. So you can't look at other people like, oh man, like, oh, that's so cool. Like, I want to be just like, nah, you'll become your own. You'll become your own star. Okay, and not look to other people like they say, like in Hollywood. Oh, this star, this star. Everybody is everybody. Everybody is people. You know what I'm saying? It just depends on what you are. You got to make yourself who you are, who you really are, and you'll become your own star. As a coincidence, the Dipper. Here we go. The Dipper constellation itself is referred to as the Plow in the British Isles. Okay, I'm gonna keep it moving. Keep it going. Keep it going. That the pentagram is supposed to possess great power over demons and other forces goes back at least as far as Vedic India, and is known in the West as part of the history of Solomon and the building of the temple. According to the legend, Solomon built the temple with the aid of demons. So, if you want to, I don't have it with me right now, but I can get to it. But it's you have the higher side and the lower side. You have the Goetia. Oh, that's the book I have, and you have the higher side dealing with the angels. But I'm looking at, you can look at, if you don't have the higher side of Solomon, you can go get the Book of Enoch and check that one out. And they have some, so you can balance it out if you want to. The Goetia is like 72 in there, so you can use those for libations or learn about them. It's pretty much learn about yourself. Whom he later shoved into a bottle and sealed with his seal, the 5-pointed star. It's pretty much, he used those demons to rectify a building, and he pretty much put them in a bottle. Pretty much, we're encased and bottled, right? And put a 5-pointed star. Like they just said, his seal, the 5-pointed star, and he became a star and tossed into the sea. There, the sea is like his the ends, almost like Cthulhu or Leviathan, the water, the sleeping beast. You know that it is the it says dream is dreaming with dead but dreaming, same thing. Tossed into the sea. There they remained until the bottle was washed up on the shore one day and opened by an unsuspecting Arab. To these demons, the pentagram is the symbol of their imprisonment and of the great musician who put them there, Solomon. Hence their fear of this sign. Well, there was no real person named Solomon in real true life. You know, it's just allegory stories. But let's get right to it.